Described by many as the most interesting class to watch at the World Time Attack Challenge, the competition in the fast and wildly unpredictable V-Sport Open class was fierce in 2015. The V-Sport Open class allows for heavy engine modification, but places restrictions on aerodynamic aids. Drivers have to keep their high horsepower machines on the racing line, relying on mechanical grip alone. The competition is tight, and teams have to push to the absolute limit to get the top spots in the class. The longest winning streak in the V-Sport Open class is 1 year. No team has ever been able to take first place 2 years in a row. In 2015, we saw competitors in American, European and Australian-made machines, in addition to the popular Japanese models. Brian Buse drove his C5 Corvette, DS Motorsports debuted their Monaro, and Evolution Custom Industries had their Porsche 944. A crowd favourite was Team 3 Rotor Racing and their Mazda RX-7.
It's great to be over here representing New Zealand, and we're going to give it a good strop, so we'll be doing the business. It's an amazing track. We don't have anything as cool as this back home in New Zealand. It's fast and it's flowing, and into turn one you just got to hang on. The car is really, really good now, so it's just up to me as a driver to get my head around some corners.
Representing Team New Zealand, driver Andy Duffin recorded a 1 minute 32.81 lap time at the team's first ever World Time Attack Challenge, netting them a respectable 7th place. Also from New Zealand and punching well above her weight was Kat Benson in the Burger Fuel Mitsubishi Evo 9. Kat was the sole female entrant in the V-Sport Open class for 2015 and a veteran of the New Zealand Superlap Series. Team Burger Fuel Racing placed 28th with a time of 1 minute 44.56.
Been good. We made the decision this morning to swap to the soft tyres, so that worked really well. The first session we went out, we dropped 3.5 seconds. So car's running solid, E85 keeping it cool. We're stoked to be here. It's just trying to find a balance of traffic and finding that perfect lap.
Robert Gooley debuted his freshly rebuilt Mitsubishi Evo 6 at the year's event. After placing 17th with a 1 minute 36 in 2014, Gooley improved by 2 seconds in 2015 to a time of 1 minute 34.58, good enough for a 13th place finish.
Yeah, look, it's been good. This is our first time bringing the car out since we rebuilt it in November. We took it after last World Time Attack back to a bare shell and rebuilt everything. We had some issues with some pumps in the back with the fuel, which was pumping the heart of the motor, so we obviously don't want to hurt that, but everything's looking good. So last session of the day, we want to go out there and put a good time down and have some good results with the car.
Driven by John Boston, Team Motive DVD also climbed up the ranks from 14th in 2014 to 11th place in 2015, with a time of 1 minute 33.79. After a spectacular third place in the Superlap Shootout in 2014, Team RTR couldn't improve on last year's podium finish and dropped to 8th place with a 1 minute 32.83. 2012 Open Class champion Nick Callis was sidelined early on Friday due to transmission problems.
V-Sport, my number one team, have worked through the night. They haven't had much sleep, but we'll be ready for the next session. We're going all out. Conditions aren't going to be ideal, but they're the same for everybody. And you know, my nickname isn't Nick Spartan Callis for nothing.
Nick eventually managed to get the car up and running again to hold 6th place for Team Sparta for a second year running, with a 1 minute 32.8. Time Attack veteran Steve Glennie spent his World Time Attack Challenge behind the wheel of the Insight Motorsports Honda S2000. The team finished strong to claim 5th spot with a time of 1 minute 31.73. The reigning class champion Dean Lilly and the power-tuned Nissan R34 GTR went out strong, clocking a 1 minute 31.45, putting the team in podium position early in the event. Unfortunately, shortly afterwards, their 2015 campaign was over, with the car suffering a fatal engine failure. This left car owner Steve Carr and his team watching the action from their garage, hoping that Dean's best lap was good enough to keep them on the podium. With the reigning champ sidelined, the race was on to see who could better the time and by how much. Paul McKinnon came very close in the Evolution Custom Industries Porsche 944. His best time was 1 minute 31.56, just a tenth of a second behind Lilly. The Porsche also took the honours of being the fastest rear-wheel drive in the class. After a bitter disqualification in 2014, Team RevZone returned determined to win. Japanese driver and Time Attack veteran Tarzan Yamada pushed the car hard from the outset and kept improving throughout Sunday. He qualified in the second place for the Super Lap shootout with an impressive time of 1 minute 30.71. But the surprise of the event came from a little front-wheel drive Honda Civic. Surrounded by a sea of GTRs, Evos and RX-7s, Adam Kazmiri piloted the JDM Yard Honda Civic to a 1 minute 30.7 lap time. This qualified the team for the Super Lap shootout in first place by a margin of only 100th of a second.
I'm a bit nervous actually, so Tarzan and Steve Glennie and Paul McKinnon are right behind me, so I can go to anyone, I guess.
The Super Lap shootout was shaping to be a nail-biter. Unfortunately, the weather had other ideas, and minutes before the Super Lap shootout, the skies opened up, and Sydney Motorsport Park suffered a torrential downpour. With the rain ending just as suddenly as it started, the racing resumed, but on a very wet track. The cars struggled to match their earlier pace, and the positions remained, as no team could better their earlier best laps. Third place, Dean Lilly, driving the power-tuned Nissan R34 GTR with a time of 1 minute 31.45. Second place, Tarzan Yamada, driving the Red Zone Mitsubishi Evo 9 with a time of 1 minute 30.71. First place, Adam Kazmiri, driving the JDM Yard Honda Civic with a time of 1 minute 30.7.